Yo guys! Focus, please. Hello? Hello? I'm here. Hey! How's it going, guys? It is Derek here from VGAK Derek Remix. Drop the bass! Ignore that completely. Don't know what that was. But today, I'm going to tell you guys a story about the time that I was really genuinely scared for my life. Now, this story comes from elementary school when I was in probably grade 6 or 7. And I'm going to tell you guys all about the time that a crazy, tall, fat black guy tried to kill me. Honestly, I was like, it was scary as balls. So, this was a day like any other. And the day this story actually happened was led up by a bunch of events. And so a few weeks before this day, a new guy and his cousin came to our school. One, we'll call him, the new guy was Bob and his cousin was Jim. Now Bob was just a normal kid, you know, wasn't really big, he wasn't really small, he wasn't really tall, he wasn't really short, he was just a normal guy. But then you had his fucking cousin. Now Jim, his cousin Jim, we're gonna call him cousin Jim, was probably about like 9 feet tall, weighed the same amount as a beluga whale, and was just like so freaking scary. Anytime you would walk by him in the hall, or anyone would walk by him in the hall, you would just see him like like, I honestly thought that one day he was just gonna snap and bring an AK to the school, or like just like jump and there was gonna be an earthquake. Honestly, I know that's kind of rude to say because he was fat that there'd be an earthquake, but he was just overall such a dick, an asshole, a bitch, a stupid guy, mean guy, jerk-faced ball sucker. But, so, the first thing that happened leading up to the story is that one day, at our school, this school was poor as hell. We had like one football for class, and one day at lunch, me and my friends all wanted to play football because we like to, like, you know, toss the pigskin around. So we go to take the football, and then the teacher's like, oh, someone already took it, and we're like, oh, who? And she's like, Jim took it. And we're like, fuck, there is no way we're getting that football from Jim anytime soon, or anytime in the next fucking day or week or whatever. So we go outside and we see that, well, I see that Jim is just not even using the football. He's standing next to the school holding the football. Like, it's just a waste of the football. If you're gonna get the football, you gotta use the football. So I go up to him, I put on my brave boots, I walk up to him like, Jim, I say it nicely though, I'm like, Jim, you're not using the football, is there any chance that me and my friends could use it because we actually want to play? Like, if you really wanted to, you could play with us too. Hoping he would say no, because if we play football with the gym, we'd be dropping like flies. It'd just be like, one guy's dead, one guy's a broken leg, one guy's a broken neck. Honestly, it would be fucking scary. And literally, he gives me the rudest thing. He just says like, fuck off. Like, he doesn't even say no. He could just be like, no, it's okay, I'm gonna play with it soon. He just says, fuck off. So I'm like, I'm trying to be a nice guy here. Like, I don't actually want to play with you. I'm just being nice and inviting you, and you just tell me to fuck off? So what I do, for some stupid fucking reason, I give him a slap across the face. I bring out my inner girl, and I slap him across the face. I don't know what I was thinking, but maybe, no, don't know what I was thinking. And it's honestly like a movie or a TV show. What happened next is he just drops the football and picks me up. Like, I was like a feather to him. It was like me picking up this. Like, it was just like, and he puts me in a garbage can. He dropped me in a garbage can. So I eventually just got up and walked away, but it was like a movie, I swear to God. So that probably fired up some inner hate from him. But as the weeks went on, I became somewhat friends with Bob. He, like, his Jim's cousin. I became friends with him somewhat, and we hung out a few times. He came to my house once or twice after school, and sometimes after school, Jim would be outside my house waiting for him to walk home. And one day, what was happening is me, Bob, and a few of my friends wanted to go to 7-Eleven after school because I lived really close to a 7-Eleven, and we'd usually all just walk to 7-Eleven, and then we'd all go separate ways to go home. So we all go to 7-Eleven, and then Jim, like, his way to walk home was like by my house. So he walked to my house, and then he walked to my house, and then he would walk home. So that day happened. We got our Slurpees, we got our candy, and we went home. And then Jim decides to come to my house after Bob didn't come over. We just went to 7-Eleven, he went home. And Jim comes to my house. I didn't know it was him. The only reason I knew it was him is I could smell him from outside my house because he smelled like dick cheese. And also I could hear his fat fist knock at my door like that's what he, honestly, it was, So I opened the little slot and I'm like, oh fuck, it's Jim. And I'm like, Jim, what do you want? Like, I'm like, why are you here? And he's like, oh, I'm going home now. Can Bob come out so we can walk home together? And I say, oh, Bob already went home. We went to 7-Eleven and he went home. And he literally just looks at me and he says, no, I know Bob's there. And I'm like, do you see him behind me or something? He's not here. Bob went home, Jim. And Jim literally would not give up. He's just like, I know Bob's there. Let him come out so we can walk home. And I'm like, Jim, you stupid motherfucker. Bob isn't here. He went home. We went to 7-Eleven, got his stuff, and walked home. He's not here. I'm sorry that he's not here. I'm sorry you have to walk home alone, but I'm pretty sure no one would ever try to hurt you or rape you because you're fucking huge and you scare everybody. And he just turns around. So I didn't exactly say that. Trust me, guys. I wasn't a mean kid. I just say, Bob isn't here, Jim. I'm sorry. He turns around. I close my little door slot and I go to my computer. And then I think he's left, so I'm obviously not thinking about it. But then I hear my mail slot open. So I'm thinking maybe the mail guy came over to drop some mail off. But then I see my garden hose come through the mail slot. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then water starts pouring into my house. This fucking lunatic Jim took my garden hose, shoved it through my mail slot, and started flooding water into my house. Who does that? He thought, for some reason, maybe he thought that he could flood Bob out of my house, but Bob wasn't even at my house. Jim, what were you thinking, buddy? So he turns on the hose full force. I'm just like, what the fuck? So I push the mail slot. I push the hose out of the mail slot, and I just like cover the mail slot with my hand. And I'm just thinking, like, in my head, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing right now? I am holding my mail slot closed so a crazy black guy doesn't try to flood my house with my garden hose. The weirdest situation I have ever been in. Honestly, it was so freaking weird. But luckily, after that, I opened the thing again. I'm like, Bob, what the fuck are you doing, buddy? Go home. And luckily, that was the same day that my landlords were coming to, they usually come every so often to just check up on the house and make sure everything's going. And they come and they see this freaking black guy standing outside my door with this huge garden hose and his huge self, and it's just on full, and he's just standing there yelling at me. So they're like, kid, what the hell are you doing on this property? And I tell them that he is what he did, and they're like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. And he's like, I'm not leaving without Bob. And I literally tell him the last time, Bob isn't here. Okay? He's not here. He's not here. And finally, he believes me, and he fucking leaves, goes home, and sees that Bob is there. I text Bob, or I message him, like, Jim is fucking crazy. Jim is a fucking lunatic. Honestly, if you guys have ever had a situation like this, which I doubt anybody has ever had in their entire life, please tell me, because, fuck, man, this Jim guy was crazy. If you ever meet a black guy named Jim who's really tall, really fat, and smells like dead people, tell him that the VGAK army tells him to fuck off. Thanks. So, whoo! I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to boom, bada, bang, hit that like button to bound, blah, 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 blah. Kick that like button down below. And I'd like to thank you guys so much for always supporting these commentaries and stories, because you guys always drop the likes on them. You guys always love them. So I'll try and think of more stories to do more of them. And also, be sure to leave a comment down below saying if you enjoyed this one. And I want to know what if you guys have ever experienced a bully, and what is the one thing you would want to do to the bully. If I could do one thing to Jim, I would probably put him in a room and then shove a hose in the room until it fucking fills to the top, just to scare the shit out of him like he's scared of me. So thank you guys so much for watching. And the last thing is, there's two last things. Oh my god. There's a link in the description to my Twitter. Be sure to follow that, because when I hit 2,000 subscribers, my giveaway is going to be on my Twitter account, and you don't want to miss that. And the last thing, I swear it's the last thing. If you guys are new to the channel, VGAK Derek, please, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button so you can join the VGAK army. Thank you guys. Peace. Bye.